Have you ever seen a guy pull up to a store in sweatpants and an old hoodie only to drive off in a Tesla? Or the woman in line in the grocery store using coupons who owns like 5 rental properties? Here's the truth. The wealthiest people often look broke. And if you want to build real wealth, you might just need to start doing the same thing. So I don't know if you've heard of this analogy, but there's a saying that goes, there's a millionaire next door. And most millionaires don't flaunt their wealth. In most cases, people who are broke try to act rich while the rich actually try to look broke. And before you say, yeah, but most millionaires were born rich, so it's not even their money to flaunt. Remember this, 80% of millionaires are actually self-made. On average, they drive used cars, live in modest homes, and avoid luxury brands like Louis Vuitton or Gucci. On top of that, the average millionaire spends less than $200 on a watch and prefers to invest in appreciating assets instead of depreciating items. This kind of hurts me now. Why do they do that? Well, because wealthy people understand the simple principle. Money grows when it's invested, not when it's spent. Every dollar you throw at designer clothes, expensive cars, or the latest gadget is a dollar that could have been working for you in the stock market, real estate, or your business. Like, consider this. Warren Buffett still lives in the house he bought in 1958 for $31,500. Mark Zuckerberg is known for wearing the same gray t-shirt every day. Just don't tell them that it costs $800. But in all reality, that's like pennies to him. And Jeff Bezos drove a Honda Accord long before he became a billionaire. You might be wondering, why does looking poor actually build wealth? Well, I'm gonna explain that. Well, let's talk about it. So first, it helps you avoid lifestyle inflation. And the thing is, the biggest wealth killer isn't taxes or bad investments. It's actually something much simpler and more easy to take hold of you. It's more of a slow financial death instead of one decision that kills you. So what is this mysterious wealth killer? Well, it's lifestyle inflation. As income grows from your 20s and 30s and into your 40s, which is like when people usually cap out their potential earnings, most people upgrade everything. Bigger house, newer car, pricier vacations. But millionaires and even many billionaires, they keep their expenses the same or sometimes even less. That's a little bit of a stretch. But usually if their income goes up, let's say 10x, if their expenses only go up 10%, well, they're actually making proportionally more. But if your expenses go up 10% and your income goes up 10%, well, then what was the point of making all that extra money? You're still kind of in the same position that you were before. Like, for example, let's say you do get a $10,000 raise tomorrow. Most people, what they'll do is they'll spend it on upgrading their car or buying expensive gadgets, or maybe even if they own a home, maybe they fix up their home. And look, I like buying all that stuff too. I mean, I literally am wearing a $500 ring and a $400 watch. And these are like, okay, you know, maybe you use them daily, but I even bought a $1,000 chess set that you see in the background. But even most of my purchases are for write-off purposes. Like this camera that I'm filming on, or the neon sign behind me, and this firm as well. These were all purchases that could be write-offs, and they were for my business. And so instead of blowing your money on just random things or, you know, making improvements, you should invest them. And that's what a smart investor does. See, a smart investor, after getting that 10,000, will likely put that 10,000 into something like the S&P 500 or a stock they like, or even real estate or crypto. Basically something that has had a track record of returning money back to them in the near to long distant future, right? So the idea is, you know, receive money, put money somewhere else that will grow instead of being wasted right away. And this is one of the biggest muscles you can strengthen. What is that muscle, you ask? It's not your bicep, it's not your brain, it's your willpower to say no to the short-term dopamine and instead think about that long-term gratification feeling that you're gonna get to have in the future, which will be magnitudes greater than any of the instant gratification you might feel today. Like, think about the potential earning that $10,000, let's say, bonus over the next 20 years will bring. Even at a 10% return, that is over $67,000 in future money. And that's just 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, it's way, way more. And if you were able to compound by, let's say, 20% a year, that $10,000 in 20 years would compound to over $383,000. Think about it. Like, that's a crazy number. And if that doesn't change your mind about investing, I don't know what will. And if you know that simple fact, then you already know the biggest principle in money. The less money you waste, the more you have to invest early. And when it comes to compounding, time in the market beats timing the market. Take this example, right? Let's say you invest $1,000 a month starting at age 25. That will grow to around $5.6 million by age 65. Again, based off the averages of the market. But let's say you wait till, I don't know, 35 to start, you'll only have $2 million. Okay, maybe you're just not sure what you want to do in life and you just say, I'm gonna invest in my 40s, and you wait till 45. You'll only have $724,000. So think about it, 5.6 million, 2 million, 724,000. Time. Time makes the biggest difference. And most people wait until they're in their middle to late 30s and 40s to start investing. So don't just be another statistic, actually be the difference maker. Your future self will thank you for it. The next thing I'm gonna get into is called the quiet wealth advantage. This is what looking poor gives you, and it's not just in your actual physical pockets, it's a psychological edge. So, and no, this is not edging. Don't do that, not here. So the quiet wealth advantage is something that allows you to not be pressured to keep up with appearances. People will typically underestimate you, which can lead to better deals in business and in life. And you're less of a target for scammers or people looking to take advantage of your wealth, which I think, overall, that's like the biggest life hack you could have. And I know what you might be thinking, how do I look poor and build wealth? So I'm gonna take you through the actual practical steps. And if you want other people to succeed around you, share this video and just highlight this part because I want more and more people to understand this. So how can you adopt this look poor and get rich mindset? First, drive a modest car. Whatever you think you can afford, cut that in half or in a quarter. So just buying used or certified pre-owned, you're gonna let the first owner hit, that 20, 30, 40, 50% depreciation, and then you get to enjoy a really nice car and for a fraction of the price. Of course, it might not be your dream car, but don't worry, by doing this, you might actually get to have your dream car in the future. And if you don't believe me that this makes a difference, remember that cars lose just 20 to 30% of their entire value in the first year. Yeah, in the first year. So buying a 1-year-old car is already better than buying new. And the other thing that I want you to do is, let's say you go get a loan and you figure out, oh, this is how much I can afford for this nice car. Instead of buying that car, you bought a cheaper car and now you have a smaller car payment. Put that difference, because that is what you could have afforded, put that difference of money into the market. And boom, you already have a winning investment strategy. You're buying a cheaper car and then investing the difference. Now, this next thing is not gonna be easy to do, especially if you like to look nice. But there is a way to do it, and that is to dress simple, not flashy. Look at me. Do I look rich? Probably not. Remember, you don't need designer brands. Most millionaires wear basic, well-fitted clothes. Even people like Steve Jobs wore the same black turtlenecks for years, not because he couldn't afford more, but because he valued simplicity and efficiency. I have literally 10 of these shirts, and I have like 3 or 4 pairs of jeans and a couple sweatpants. That's it. That's all that matters. Simplicity, efficiency, and then the rest, guess what? You can invest in the markets. But don't worry, those aren't the only investing hacks that I have for you. The next one is to just live below your means. And I know, well, I already am living below my means. I don't have a car, I don't have nice clothes, but this one is more about homes. Buy a home if you choose to buy a home that fits your needs, not your ego. Many millionaires live in homes worth less than $500,000. Now, time of making this video, the markets have gone up, so maybe if you're watching this in the future, it might be 600,000, 800,000. Just know that if you're looking at a house, do the same thing that you did with your car. Whatever you think you can afford, whatever the bank says you can afford, cut that in half, cut that into a quarter, and buy that. Your future self will thank you. Of course, if you're doing that for investment reasons, that might be different, but in terms of living conditions, remember that the thing that you buy to live in is almost never an investment decision. It is almost always an ego decision. And the other thing, if you do rent, avoid luxury apartments. Like for me and my wife, before we got married, we lived in literally a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, maybe 400, 500 square foot apartment for a little over a year. And that allowed us to build a nest egg. And then what we did is we moved to another apartment, because this one was like literally the worst, but it was very affordable. And the next apartment we moved into, which we could have went super nice, super classy, we went with the cheaper option. And I'm so glad we did, because later we were able to buy a home. And that home we've lived in for 4 years, and I'm happy we're here. And I think we could afford something way nicer in, let's say, $1 million plus territory, but we haven't done that because we want to save the difference. And more importantly than save the difference is to invest the difference. I think that's very, very important. And this transitions very well into the next part, and that is to invest aggressively. Put your money in assets, not liabilities. Real estate, index funds, and businesses are the backbone of wealth. I would aim to invest at least 20 to 30% of your income. And I know that sounds very hard to do, especially if you're just getting started, but if you aim for that and you take it out as soon as you get the money, money, then it becomes easy. And that is what most people would like to call passive income, which technically it's kind of passive income because you're taking money from yourself and put it into an investment portfolio, and eventually that investment portfolio is working, and voila, you have passive income. So focus on that passive income. Rental properties, stocks, businesses can create those income streams, grow over time. Even look at this YouTube channel. It has been passively making me money even on days I don't upload. Now, of course, it's not millions of dollars, but it's still passive. I've put these videos out. They are all free for your entertainment and hopefully, your education. And the goal, well, it's to have your assets pay for your lifestyle, not your paycheck to pay for that lifestyle. And this is the hard part. And this is the reality check I had to have with myself. So remember, this isn't about depriving yourself. It's about your discipline and your intentionality. You can still enjoy life, take vacations, treat yourself. The difference is you do it after your investments are secured. So think about this. Instead of financing a $60,000 luxury SUV, buy a $25,000 used car and invest the rest. In 10 years, that $35,000 investment could grow to $90,000, $100,000 at just 10% a year. So the secret to getting rich isn't about looking rich. In fact, it's about thinking long-term, investing consistently, and resisting the urge to show off. So the next time you see someone driving a beat-up Toyota or wearing an old t-shirt like myself, don't underestimate them or treat them any differently. They might just be wealthier than you think, and they might even get you in the door with the right people to push start your career. Who knows? At the end of the day, if you want to build real wealth, start by looking poor and subscribing to this YouTube channel. Selfless plug. I'll catch you guys in the next one. And YouTube thinks you'll enjoy one of these awesome videos here.